Hail adventurers, 'tis I, Tequila, Jihad Johnny. Now featuring Bonbons with Pone Star Gaming. How's it going, guys? Hail adventurers. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about animal taming. But first, we always do a beer of the day. Today's beer is Shock Top. It's a Belgian white. I was trying to find some cool little story like on the little something mail ad, but Shock Top, it just basically says, hey, if you want a smooth, tasty beer and you like to party, then Shock Top's where it's at. I got to agree with them. It's definitely a smooth, tasty beer. It reminds me of Blue Moon quite a bit. Stick an orange in there and you're good to go. But we're not here to talk about beer. We're here to talk about UO Outlands, our favorite Ultima server, and Animal Taming. Everybody knows Animal Taming is the Taj Mahal when it comes to farming and getting gold and all that good stuff. Everybody loves to hate them, and everybody wants to be them. They hate us because they ain't us, right? We're going to get started on this, starting off with templates. Okay, so here we are. This is my personal template. There's a lot out there, but this one is mine. So I'm just going to run through the skills here and why I chose them. First off, animal lore. Hey, obviously we know what that does. Cool little trick. Just in case you didn't know, you can animal lore anything. I know this is a horse, right? But you can animal lore anything. It'll tell you how many hit points it has. For instance, this one has 265. It's really useful if your guild's doing the omniboss and you need to know how many more hit points you have, that way for time purposes. So really cool. Animal taming, it's obviously, we know what that's for. Eval is for damage on your magery spells, also how strong your heals are, stuff like that. Herding is really cool. The thing with herding is, as long as you have a shepherd's crook in your bag, you don't need to have it equipped. You have a follower, you can double click it and you can focus aggression, and what that actually does is they deal 25% more damage to whatever target it is that's the focus of their aggression. It does work in PvP, but it only works for half of the amount. Now that is divided by 100, so I think it's more if you're at 120, like I am. So I personally would say get 120. It's very, very helpful. Next on the list is magery. Magery is magery. You guys know what magery is. You can also do like a weapon template if you do, like fencing, and instead of eval, you do tactics. That's helpful. Actually, as I was leveling up, that's what I did. I did, fencing, and I had some melee pets, and that's kind of how I leveled up. Next on the list, meditation. We know what meditation does. Regains your mana. Taste ID. This one, a very early on tamer in our guild, he said to go with Taste ID. The reason for Taste ID is if I Taste ID the ground, it gives me an herbal poultice, and it gives me a resistance to poison, disease, and bleed effects. It's great for bosses. Let me tell you, while everybody else is taking large ticks, I'm taking 30% less of it, or a certain amount less. It helps quite a bit. But the main reason I took it was for the mana regain. If you are eating food, which you should be, remember in our last videos we found that 150 gold will buy you delectable food. It actually is going to have a 50% of chance to increase the amount regenerated by 100%. Now that is also your Taste ID skill divided by 100. We're currently at 60, so it's not going to be quite that much, but every bit helps in my opinion. If you guys have any other suggestions on what I should put there in place of Taste ID, let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty good and set on this Taste ID. I really like the mana regain that I get from it. Alright guys, next up we're going to talk about aspects. Which aspect do you start with? Which aspect do you mid-game with and in-game with? I would suggest you get a water suit to start out with. As you're killing stuff and as you get command cores, heck yeah, hold on to them. You got a guild, hopefully they'll help you get some more command cores so you can get your command suit, but just to put all your eggs in one basket and hope for the full command suit, I'm going to give you guys a little tip. You're going to be capping that thing non-stop, and you're going to constantly see the XP thing say command at the top, full experience, and it's going to make you angry every monster you kill. Also, it goes through magic essence quite a bit. Again, I would say water. The reason for water is because of this right here. If we go into aspect mastery and we go to water, sorry, I didn't practice what I preach. It's just had a friend do water and I'm very jealous, and I wish I would have, because his path was much easier than mine. What it does is it's bonus to healing dealt and received. That right there is huge, because you're healing your pets for more. It's just a very good thing to have while you're gaining taming and you're killing those monsters. Then as you've got your command suit, very, very helpful. What it does is, the inspiration, it heals your pets to full. There is a guy on our server who plays with a fortress beetle, and it's funny, when his book procs, heals his pet for 1100 if it's almost redlined, right? That's crazy. 1100 damage healed like that. And then it also, not only that, if you read the tooltip tip, it also grants them a damage bonus of 50% plus 5 times the tier level against other creatures for 30 seconds. Damage increase. And you know what's even crazier? It stacks. So if I proc once and then I proc again, man, that's double the damage. Alright, as far as the actual suit itself, this is the magic essence eater, like crazy. Helps increase your armor like everything else, but it follower damage bonus, follower damage resistance. So increases 5% plus 1.5% per tier, and then also on the experience game and taming chance bonus. I don't really tame many pets, I just buy them. I've found that it's easier for me just to farm the gold and buy them. I'm sure it's not, but I just don't like standing there and watching the fails over and over again. But the follower experience gain is great. Honestly, if I buy a pet and it's level 1 or level 10, it doesn't matter to me, because I know that follower experience gain I'm going to get from 1 to 10 in about a day. I got a prowler and a snowdrift, and it took me most of the day to get them from 1 to 10, and then we were out boating that night, because that was the whole reason I got the prowler. Hey, just wanted to interrupt myself here for a quick minute, because as I was editing this video, I realized I didn't even talk about what it was that I use 90% of the time. I'll put it on the screen right here, right in the middle, but basically I use the command book. The reason I use the command book is for the inspiration proc, and then I use fortune armor. Anytime I'm farming or just killing random monsters, I use the fortune armor. Reason why is it gives a golden loot item chance bonus, a flat 5% and then a 1.5% per tier. I'm currently tier 7, so you do the math, right? That's how I usually farm. I don't typically use my command suit unless I'm either leveling a pet or we're on a boss. Those are the only times I really use my command suit. Either way, back to the video. So, on to our next topic is actually going to be pets. Okay guys, here we are at the stables. Sadly, I do not have a stable master in my house. Maybe I will one day. Got a dock master, no stable master. My favorite combination currently right now is the barbed prowler and the fire beetle. The fire beetle actually cures its own poison, That's one of its abilities that it can do. Very helpful. If you see here, cleanse, randomly removes all negative effects on the creature from one of the following effect types: poison, bleed, or disease. It's great. You don't have to cure your pet. Very helpful. The Barb Prowler does a little AoE. Hits the monsters in a area, and then it also causes a very damaging bleed effect. Also, if I get attacked by a PK, the Barb Prowlers are very helpful, as well as very good against monsters. Okay, next on the list is going to be the Blood Dragon and the Blood Worm. Always liked the Blood Dragon and the Blood Worm. They're very beefy. They do physical damage and blood damage. I guess they cause bleeds, but they do very, very well against bosses. If I'm going into a boss fight prepared and it's not a Zerg of like our entire guild is on, I'm gonna definitely grab my blood pets, because I can all kill, no skill the boss. That means I just throw those pets on there and I just leave them. Throwing flame strikes when my mana allows, and maybe if the boss takes a little bit longer than what we're expecting, I can throw in a few heals. But hopefully my command book is doing what it needs to be, and it's proccing. That way they heal to full and do more damage. Okay. Next on the list, these guys right here, black cats. Okay, these ones are my favorite. If I'm with a large group of the guild, I'm pulling these bad boys out, even if we're farming, because they're just so much fun. I mean, I just like to kind of role play that I'm there. I got 5 black cats and I'm just like sick 'em, and they go in there and just go to town. Lots and lots of fun. Also, a very good benefit of them is they are very, very good for PvP. You got 5 pets just bashing on you, the damage is going down quick. People tend to freak out. They see those black cats and they run, or they panic. It's very helpful. Okay guys, Animal Taming Guide. I wanted to show you guys this really cool house. Cal Draco, he owns this vendor house. Very nice, a lot of good stuff in here. But I used this guide as I was leveling. I hope you do too. Obviously the house wasn't here, it was a little bit further north, but this book right here, I think it's this purple one. Yep, that's it. This right here is going to show you exactly where to go and what to tame. The only suggestion is once you're able to do these wisps, I personally stayed on the wisps for a very long time. I would kind of switch it up and do, the cave gorgers in Cavernim, once I was able to do those as well. But either way, this guide helps a lot. I'm also going to put a link in the description of a forum post that he did that explains this in a lot more detail. Major props to Cal Draco. He really did a good job on that guide, and actually he did a very good job decorating this place. It's got some pretty good price stuff in here, by the way. That's the video for my personal animal taming build, and then also a few helpful tips. I hope you learned something from it. I hope that if you're a new animal tamer that you take this and you're like, hey, that YouTube video helped me. If you did, please give me a sub, give me a like, comment below. Also, as far as these videos go, I'm definitely open to feedback and criticism. I really hope that you're enjoying the new light in the back and also this brightness up front. I've been really enjoying making these videos, and I hope you've enjoyed watching them. Again, sub, like, comment. Pwn Star Gaming out.